Well, welcome to another Word in Season. I was walking in the bush after the recent rain and came across a small stream of water. It was so good to see the water meandering along gently and quietly through the grass. As I followed the stream, there was another little stream entering the first stream. The combined water started to flow more quickly and was a little noisier. Then, another 30 or so metres on, yet another stream joined the first streams. And as the three smallish streams combined, the water started to flow faster and more noisily and was deeper, culminating in a waterfall over some rocks. Gone was the gentle trickle of a creek. There was now water falling noisily over the edge of a large rock and creating a deep pond. I started thinking about life. How one small quiet stream of uneasiness or uncertainty or trouble in life bubbles along gently. You are aware there are things going on, but all's controllable. You don't feel too disturbed. But then if another little stream of trouble or uncertainty combines with the first one, it's a little more disturbing. But then if another stream of uncertainty comes and even another, suddenly with all the uncertainties gathering together, life can seem out of control, tumultuous or chaotic. Do you ever feel as though your life is in chaos? A bit out of control, where one problem after another seems to come your way. When a health problem is compounded by a family problem, compounded by a work issue, compounded by a car problem, compounded by a leaking roof. All things are manageable on their own, but combined they feel chaotic and uncontrollable. What's it like for you when this happens? I don't like it when life feels out of control and chaotic. I like the security of thinking I'm in control. The trouble is, there's so much in life that is outside our control. Our health and the health of those we love, circumstances of family and friends, things happening all around us and in our world. There's so much that's chaotic and out of control and unknown and unpredictable. We try so hard to keep chaos and disorder away by doing the right thing, working harder, being cleverer. Think of all the money being thrown at medical research against COVID, by insurances, preventative health measures. Then one day, despite all that, we find chaos right with us. And it produces a sense of being all at sea, helplessness, anxiety, out of controlness, fear, and maybe a feeling of being abandoned by God. As we ask, where is God in this? The truth is, we live in a world of sin and brokenness and cannot ever control everything. So to think we'll live a life without some chaos at some time is fantasy. Interestingly, the Bible is full of stories of chaos. The Bible begins with a story of chaos. Genesis 1:1 begins, when God began creating the heavens and the earth was a shapeless, chaotic mass. The good news is God wasn't absent. The Spirit was hovering, or some translations say brooding, over the chaos. God was present by His Spirit. He brooded, hovered over the chaos, and He spoke and separated light from darkness. Do you have chaotic spaces in your life where it feels as though God is absent, where you need the Spirit of God to hover over, to brood over, to speak into? In Psalm 46 we read, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present, a brooding help in trouble, in chaos. Therefore we will not fear, even though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, even though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. And later in the same psalm, these words, be still and know that I am God. In the roar of the chaos, be still and listen for the whisper of God, to the still small voice of God that whispers, I am with you. I will not leave you. Take refuge in me. All else is fragile, but I am present. I am brooding over this. I am God. I am your God, in whom you can take refuge. I am reminded of the poem by Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the German Lutheran pastor known for his resistance of the Nazis, resulting in his arrest by the Gestapo. He was captured and imprisoned and actually executed not long before the collapse of the Nazi regime. His life was in absolute chaos, and he stood against this gross sin. Let me leave you with his poem, Who Am I?, written not long before his death. Who am I? They often tell me I stepped from my cell's confinement, calmly, cheerfully, firmly, like a squire from his country house. Who am I? They often tell me I used to speak to my warders freely and friendly and clearly, as though it were mine to command. Who am I? They also tell me I bore the days of misfortune equably, smilingly, proudly, like one accustomed to win. Am I then really that which other men tell of? Or am I only what I myself know of myself, restless and longing and sick, like a bird in a cage, struggling for breath as though hands were compressing my throat, yearning for colours, for flowers, for the voices of birds, thirsting for words of kindness, for neighbourliness, tossing in expectation of great events, powerlessly trembling for friends at an infinite distance, weary and empty at praying, at thinking, at making, faint, and ready to say farewell to it all. Who am I? This or the other? Am I one person today and tomorrow another? Am I both at once, a hypocrite before others, and before myself a contemptible, woe-begone weakling? Or is something within me still like a beaten army, fleeing in disorder from victory already achieved? Who am I? They mock me, these lonely questions of mine. Whoever I am, thou knowest, O God, I am thine. In the chaos of the great unknown, rest in his embrace. Let his words brood over you. I am God, I am yours, and you are mine. Amen.